Hello, welcome to a special edition of Crop Life Retail Week. I'm Eric Sfiligoj, editor of Crop Life and Crop Life Iron, here with Lara Sowinski, although I will in a moment say I'm not really here. So, Laura, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. How are you? What's up?
What's up? Well, let's see. Basically, I have been up a lot. For those who may not know, this is the week that the Agricultural Retailers Association held its annual meeting and conference in Houston, Texas. And I, with a bunch of us folks from the Crop Life team, were in attendance. And got to say, it was a great event. There was a lot of positive vibes, a lot of seeing old friends, talking to people that I have not seen in a little while and catching up. And in general, the attendance was pretty good. It was a little over 600 attendees they had at this event, Laura, which is on par. Since this event came back post-COVID, the attendees each year have been around 600. So it's staying steady, but I did meet a lot of people who were first timers to the event and new exhibitors and folks that had made the move over to new retailers. So it was a very, very good event. 3 days well spent, I will say.
That's awesome. I can't wait to hear the whole scoop, and I know you have some tidbits for us.
Yes, I do have some tidbits. Yes. So again, as I said, ARA's annual meeting, and one of the highlights of the meeting, any of one of ARA's annual meetings, of course, is President CEO Darren Kopic. He kind of gives his state of the state, state of the association, state of the Beltway during his conversation to the attendees at the show. And this year, Darren did talk about several of the things that they're watching as we go into 2025 with, a new Congress, new president coming in, but some of the same old concerns about labor, concerns about, of course, whether or not a new farm bill actually appears. But one of the clips I have to share is, I know we have covered this topic in the past couple of years, that the folks, up until now, seed treatment, chemicals used in seed treatments have been exempt from some of the regulations that are required for regular crop protection products. And I know, for instance, the state of New York is saying that, these chemistries will now be subject to the same regulations as the chemicals. They won't be exempt any longer. And here in this video clip, Darren's talking about how ARA, through its efforts, have addressed this topic on the national stage. So here you go.
We've been involved most recently in a decision that just came out not too long ago about treated seeds. If you're not familiar with the treated article exemption, what that provides is that you have a chemical that's used for a seed treatment will go through the FIFRA registration process. It'll get its full label for use, and so it's okay to use. And then you put it on the seed, and the correct provisions say that that's a treated article that's exempt from additional regulation because you already registered the product that you put on the seed. Some of the opponents to these technologies wanted us to have to go through the Section 3 registration process all over again, even if it's the same product that's already registered. Just because we put it on the seed, then we have to go through the registration process all over again. No scientific justification, no return to the customer, to public, just added cost and add hassle for people who don't like this technology. EPA has reaffirmed the treated article exemption. Within the last 3 weeks, I think the decision came out. So yet another win. It's not the first time we fought this battle. It's probably not the last time we'll fight this battle, but it just shows how important it is to stay on top of these and remain engaged, as Tim was talking about a few minutes ago.
So that's what Darren Kopic had to say regarding seed treatments and making sure that they stay exempt. And then in the second clip I have to run, this is something that could be real interesting, Laura. He had mentioned that, up until now, of course, nonprofit trade associations like ARA have been exempt from taxes because they're nonprofits. And I guess there is a proposal making the rounds in Washington that would take away that tax exempt status from these trade groups. So in this clip, he's talking about how ARA, and I'm sure some of its sister associations, what they're planning to do about this proposal and how that could play out in 2025. So here you go.
But there's also some talk going around in Washington about pay-fors. So how do we raise money to pay for these tax debts? And one of the provisions that they're talking about would make trade association income, dues revenue, conference registrations, sponsorships, taxable.
That would be devastating for this organization. And so there are a whole bunch of nonprofits like us that are joined together to try to stop that and make sure that it doesn't ever get out of wherever room it's at the moment, because it would be tremendously bad policy for us. So lots of dimensions to tax policy, but it's going to be a humongous year for tax in 2025. You can't open a paper without looking about tariff announcements that the president-elect is talking about. And I know that he's upset with China, upset with others, because he believes that they're taking advantage of us in the ways that they subsidize their businesses. And in a lot of cases, he has a point. Here's why I'm concerned about that, though.
Decades of economic education and training, and I'm an economist by training, tell you that trade makes everybody better. It allows people to comparatively specialize in areas of their dad's lives, and that they can help each other out. And so, in our history, whenever we have opposed a tariff on another country for one of their products coming into our country, doesn't matter who it is or what sector of the economy it's in, the first step country retaliates against us is ag exports. And they do that because they know that the ag community is hurt significantly by that, and that we will scream louder about it. So there's a reason why they do it that way. But the last time we had a tariff trade war, we lost our number one soybean export market position, not only to China, but in the entire world. And Brazil is now ahead of us in at least soybean exports, so I think they're past us in corn. I thought they're really close. And I was at their Vagani and Harlem with me in August at our Brazilian sister organizations conference, and they were very proud of the fact they're now the biggest soybean exporter in the world. They will not give that up. And from my time in the wheat industry, I remember that these reputations for being reliable suppliers take decades to build, and they take minutes to destroy. So I am really concerned about what trade and tariff policy might be. We have to be active and talking to the people in the administration so that they understand what the likely impact is going to be. And it's not just ag exports either. It's also imports and inputs. Over 80% of the potash used in this country comes from Canada. We import a lot of technical ingredients for pesticides as well from China.
So again, Laura, that's what Darren had to say. This is, I had not heard about this proposal, and hopefully it is nothing more than a proposal and does not get to a committee or get into a bill that is, proposed on the House or Senate floor. But yeah, I'm sure AOA and other trade groups will stay on top of this. That is something that would not be good for our friends in Washington and around the country that look out for the best interests of their members in agriculture.
Yeah, no, I hadn't heard of that either. So certainly I can understand why they're concerned, but good news item to follow for sure.
Yeah, we will follow up on that, of course. So yeah, folks, stay tuned to upcoming issues of Crop Life Magazine or our online material to kind of update what's going on that front. So, hey, one other thing, Laura, to mention, a big topic of conversation, as you might imagine, involved ag technology here at ARA, and that was artificial intelligence, AI. They had a panel discussion to kind of kick things off on the first day, talking about AI in ag, and then the first speaker on the docket, or one of the first speakers on the docket for the educational sessions, was talking about AI. It was a gentleman from Microsoft. And then they actually had a couple other speakers who are actually in agriculture, and they were talking about how their companies are using AI. One of those speakers was Jason Minton from Tyrannus, the drone company. He said they're employing AI in their drone application work going forward. And here's a video clip of him. Basically, he's talking about, folks in the marketplace, if they're sort of sitting on the fence regarding should they try AI, should they think about adopting AI. This was his advice to them.
I did a little search on AI as well, and it said this, and I kind of missed this in my opener, but it said, embrace AI to revolutionize your agriculture practices and stay ahead of the curve. By adopting AI technologies, you can enhance your efficiency, boost your yields, and secure a sustainable future for your business. So that to me is the opportunity. As we think about the challenges and threats, sometimes I'll tell people, like for our drone service, for example, drones are magic, right? I know it seems kind of simple, but it requires investment. The same way you've invested in your retail business to put up new structures, to uphold more chemistry, new seed treaters, and new machinery that you're using, new spray rigs, you do that as an investment. And I would encourage you to think about investing in AI and making it part of your infrastructure investment. I think that's one of the challenges. It's going to be perceived as a new cost, but it's going to drive immense value for you. And then from a threats perspective, honestly, right now, I think it's the reason I asked the Bitcoin question. I think the biggest threat right now is us. It's us. Are we ready to take this on? Are we ready to adopt it? I left a career with a large manufacturer after 20 years to come to this company because I believe what AI is going to do is absolutely going to make ag retail even better than it is today. And it's going to empower your best people. And it's going to bring those people that are brand new, that are just getting a start or inherited a big book of business. I know you all know who those guys are. It's going to help them be even better and more efficient at what they do. So that would be the threat, is that we don't engage with it now and get the most out of it.
So that's what Jason from Tyrannus had to say regarding investing in AI. And I suspect, Laura, we'll be talking about AI a lot. We've got our Tech Hub Live event coming up in Des Moines in July. I'm sure that'll be a big topic of conversation, and it'll be very interesting to see how the marketplace in general does kind of respond to all the new technology offerings that are coming up.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. We'll have to circle back with him and see what he's doing in July.
Well, you see, I'm just making your to-do list get much longer. Reach out to so-and-so, talk to so-and-so about this story. So, yes, we're making more work, but that's all right. That's why we're here, right? All right. Well, Miss Laura, then, since we've had all the news from the ARA 2024 event, and I will point out next year's ARA event I'm looking forward to as well. 2025's ARA is going to be in Salt Lake City, Utah. So that ought to be a blast. I have not spent a lot of time in Salt Lake City. I think it was there about 22 years ago. I'm looking forward to seeing what's changed over the last couple of decades in the state of Utah.
Well, that's great. Yeah, that'll be exciting. I haven't been there a while myself. The last time I was there was for a trade event. So hopefully, sure.
It sounds like it'll be a great event. So, hey, then we'll end this video as we always do. Time for your favorite segment of the show. Time for Fun with Numbers.
Okay. Make it one that I could easily get.
Well, if you think about this one, you should be able to get it. I always say that though, don't I? So I'm sorry. So your number this week, it is a percentage, 98%.
Okay.
So pretty high percentage. Of course, we know in journalism, we don't like to go the 100%. We always kind of hedge that 1 or 2%. So we're good with this number, 98%. So Miss Laura, is 98%, is that A, the percentage of ARA attendees with a positive outlook for 2025? Is it B, the percentage of ARA attendees with a negative outlook for 2025? Is it C, the percentage of U.S. gasoline that contains ethanol? Or is it D, the percentage of time I was awake for stuff this week at the annual ARA meeting and not sleeping?
Eric, I tell you, I have to hand it to you. You always come up with a creative option D.
When it's close to the truth, it's not that hard to come up with. Trust me.
Considering it's so high, I'm gonna not go with A or B. That seems too extreme. And for some reason, I have a feeling I read something in recent days about ethanol and gas. I'm going with C.
You are correct, man. Yeah. At the ARA event here, they had a speaker from Bracewell company. His name was Tim Urban, and he was talking about alternative fuels, renewable diesel, sustainable aviation fuel, and what those markets are going to mean potentially for agriculture moving forward. But he did note that already in the U.S., 98% of the gasoline used does contain some ethanol. So again, I am very proud of you for paying attention. Yes, the positive negative outlook from the folks here was closer to probably a 50-50 split. So was not near 98% either way. But yes, you are correct. It's the gasoline. Answer is the right one. Good
Yeah.
job, Laura.
Awesome.
All right. Well, hey, everyone, thanks for joining us for this edition of Crop by Retail Week. If you were at the ARA event, I hope you got to say hi to me. And if not, I hope you enjoyed this little synopsis. And of course, stay tuned to our magazine and website going forward, and we will have more highlights to share and along with photographs. On behalf of myself and everyone at the Crop Life Media Group, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comments section below. Your feedback is important to us. We will try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.